NAVAIR and NASA team up to develop safer helicopters for the future. Plus, a midday shutdown helps one NAVAIR facility sail through energy savings. And after 2 years in Afghanistan, the first deployed fire scouts returned home. Welcome to this edition of Airwaves. I'm Michael Lauren Prue. October is National Energy Awareness Month and the perfect time to applaud conservation efforts around the command. Using reports released by the NAVAIR Energy team, the Surface Aviation Interoperability Lab found ways to do business better and save energy along the way.
When we were mandated to start saving energy, we started thinking about the processes that we do here at SAIL. So we understood that things like turning off the computers and things would have some savings, but we didn't think it was going to have a major impact. So we started looking at big loads. What are the big consumers of power here? And the number one consumer of power here is actually our laboratory.
The laboratory is the heart of SAIL. Home to multiple computers and radar systems, the lab uses a lot of energy during business hours. To cut back on expense, facilities manager David Willenborg proposed a simple switch, of a button that is, encouraging the team to turn off machines in the middle of the day.
We were instructed by Dave that there was new mandates coming down from the top about wanting to conserve energy, wanting to cut bills, wanting to cut costs. So Dave took some other lab maintenance workers and myself around and showed us where the chill water shutdown was, where certain power relays shut down were to shut down main power coming into the lab once we were shutting down for the day, so that when it came up our turn to do the lab shutdown, we would be able to accomplish it and help reduce energy costs here at SAIL.
The team worked out a weekly rotational plan for manual startup and shutdown of the lab. The assigned person uses a step-by-step list of instructions to turn off unused machines around noon each day. The process saves on energy, reduces air conditioning load, and wear and tear on machines.
If anything, it allows us to be more focused on what kind of business we're drawing in and be able to plan ahead as to when we're going to need the lab, what times we're going to need the lab, and who we're supporting in the lab. So it really helps us streamline it and get it to a point where we can only have what we need up, and we're kind of a more lean and efficient at what we do in the business that we can support.
Due to the changing workload, the amount of energy savings varies each month, but Willenberg says the real payoff is in the cultural change in the office. The team makes an extra effort to cut off computers and lights. Outdoor lights were switched to LEDs and are now on a sensor which ensures they are off when not in use.
We're good public servants. We understand that taxpayer dollars are maintaining this facility, and we have to be responsible to the taxpayer in how we use those funds. When the mandate came down to say, hey, we want you to sit there and reduce your consumption of power, we are more than happy to sit there and comply with that. That's what we're paid to do, and we're going to do it.
An exciting moment for the Navy's Unmanned Combat Air System demonstration program. The X-47 Bravo AV-2 completed the program's 100th flight in the skies above Naval Air Station Patuxent River, Maryland. The flight rounds out a successful summer of testing for the aircraft. Following 8 months of at-sea testing, the UCAS program completed all objectives for the carrier demonstration phase in July. The program will continue to conduct carrier integration demonstrations and has also begun surrogate Learjet testing of the autonomous aerial refueling capability, aimed at increasing the endurance and range of carrier-based unmanned aircraft. Engineers from the NAVAIR Human Systems Division recently collaborated with NASA, the Federal Aviation Administration, United States Army, and industry partners to perform a simulated crash test at Langley Research Center, with the objective of developing safer helicopters for the fleet. A retired CH-46C Knight helicopter containing 13 test dummies and 2 mannequins representing passengers and aircrew was dropped 31 feet by cable off a metal superstructure, hitting the ground at 30 miles per hour. The test dummies and mannequins were outfitted with accelerometers to safely measure and record the effect of the crash. The results of the test will help design safer aircraft seats and restraint systems for future aircraft. Following a successful 2-year deployment to Afghanistan, the Fire Scouts have returned home. 2 MQ-8Bs and their ground control stations arrived back to Naval Air Station Patuxent River aboard a C-17 aircraft. The Fire Scouts have been in Afghanistan since May 2011, where they operated in support of U.S. forces and allies in Regional Command North. The autonomous aircraft flew over 300 hours a month, providing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance overwatch support for troops on the ground.
It brings a different capability that we're able to put out there, an aircraft with a different payload, in this sense electrical, optical, and IR into what some people would call the dole or drudgery kind of routine missions. Also be able to provide a very repeatable mission set that we're able to go out day after day and do the same inspection of a point, knowing that we're coming back in and looking, and then able to work with our intel specialists to go back and look at the products that we're providing them to see if there are changes in the environment or in the road structures or anything like that.
The returning fire scouts will undergo a thorough inspection in preparation for a fleet deployment next year. Chief Technician David Briggs of the Royal Air Force recently received the prestigious honor of being named to the Queen's List as a member of the Order of the British Empire for his extraordinary work in support of the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter.
Very special. I didn't know anything about it. I was nominated by my chain of command both in the US and the UK through the work I've been doing on the F-35. We returned to the UK and went to Buckingham Palace, and I was very fortunate and honoured as well to have the Queen present the award.
Briggs is currently a field service engineer with the F-35 maintenance team and has been with the program since 2008. The Most Excellent Order of the British Empire was established on June 4, 1917 by King George V and is comprised of civil servants and military recipients. And that's it for this edition of Airwaves. See you on the flight line.